What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of No Skips. And today I want to talk about an album that, for me, is one of my favorites. And again, music is always subjective, right? Like, what I might think is great, you may think is trash, and that's okay. But today we're going to talk about one of my favorites, which I think is an album with no skips. And that is none other than Mr. Keith Sweat. Make It Last Forever. Now, we can go through the song titles and you can judge for yourself. Something just ain't right in the wrong way. Tell me it's me you want, I want her. Make it last forever. In the rain. How deep is your love? Don't stop your love. This album came out in 1987, November 27th, 1987. I was in the 7th grade. This is right around that time when you start liking girls. And I know this music is way too mature, the stuff he talking about in here. But when you like girls, it's slow jams and it's just R&B. And that was what was popular at that time. And if you think about who he had producing on this album with him, he had Mr. Teddy Riley, who is the architect of that New Jack Swing sound, which is also on this album. So I like to say this and maybe Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel. Heavy D, of course, ushered in that New Jack Swing sound that none other than Mr. Teddy Riley provided. But before this album was made, Keith Sweat was in this group called Jamila or Jamila. I know I'm saying it right or wrong, but anyways, he was in this group and they let him go. And you know, maybe it was no big sweat to him. I don't know, but he continued to record music and he got a record deal through Elektra Records because he had put out a single called Don't Stop Your Love, which is the last song on this album. And that song started to get him a little traction, so he got that record deal. And he had used to compete with Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley was in a group called Total Climax at that time, and they would do shows and they would compete against each other. So, and he had already knew Teddy from the projects. And so when he got his record deal, he went and got Teddy. He liked the sound, and they produced this album together. Don't slip, don't think it was just all Teddy Riley. Now, Teddy Riley did a good portion of the work on this album, but they co-wrote a lot of the songs together, produced them together. But Keith Sweat himself is a prolific producer himself. You go look at the artists he brought out himself, like Silk and things of that nature. But anyways, I digress. Once he got his record deal, when they heard Don't Stop the Love, got with Teddy. Took him 6 months to produce this album because they say Keith was a perfectionist, and out of 17 songs, only 8 made the cut for this album. Now, if you look at iconic classic albums, especially back in the day, they only had around 8 or 9 tracks max. They didn't have that many songs. So this fits right in that sweet spot. It's not a super long album, but it hits you. And I mean, every song, the bass lines, iconic bass lines. You've heard other artists sample from this album. Trust me. I can name a couple from the Bay, E40, Sally Cell. So anyways, he co-wrote this album with Teddy Riley. And while working on this album, did y'all know that Keith Sweat I think he was a day trader in Wall Street? I did not know that. I thought that was pretty dope. And when recording the song Make It Last Forever, Jackie McGee, she was already in another group, and she was working with Ted, and Ted said, I think she'd be good on the song. Keith Sweat say when he met her, he wanted to hit it. That's the funny part. He could have been joking or whatever. But anyways, she said when she heard it, she thought the song sucked because she thought Keith sounded like Steve Arrington from the group Slave. Not that that's a bad thing because, it's classic songs, classic singer. And Keith doesn't sound bad on the song at all. But to her, she didn't like it. And but she put her flavor to it and boom, we had a classic. Now, that's probably one of the most popular songs on the album next to I Want Her. But there was never a video for that song, ever. And I think that was because they were touring or whatever. So anyway, this album is 3 times platinum. So there's 3 million people who also bought this album and loved it as well. So I want to give a shout out to Mr. Keith Sweat for blessing us with a classic album, Make It Last Forever. Let me know what you think about the album. Did you think the album sucked? Did you like it too? Is it a no skipper for you as well? And also, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, man. Listen, I'm putting out dope content on this channel. And it's just who I am, Andre Lamont Floyd. You know what I mean? I love doing this. So I subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button and share this with your friends if you think it's some content you think others will like. All right. Until next time. Peace. Oh, before I go, there was one more little fun fact that I forgot to add to the video. Did you know that Johnny Kemp's Just Got Paid was supposed to go on that album, Make It Last Forever? Can you imagine if that song would have been on there? Produced again by Teddy Riley and Keith Sweat, written by Keith Sweat. He's still getting paid, but rest in peace to that brother Johnny Kemp. And thanks for also providing another timeless classic that could have made that album Make It Last Forever. Peace.